You fall on me, I'll kill you. So as the title says, Nexon and NCSoft, the two companies that publish a shit ton of MMORPGs, they're working on some shit. If anyone wonders where I get all my information from, I usually hover over Gematsu and MMOculture.com. You know, if I see something cool that stands out, we gotta talk about it. So there are a few things today. The first thing that I find interesting, but to give some context to it, is, you know, I've covered mobile games recently, a little more than usual, not just sponsored content, but in general, there's been some really good mobile games announced at G-Star and just around that time that I'm looking forward to myself. And if you've watched any of those videos or you've kept up with the mobile scene, you'll notice that a lot of these games are being developed for crossplay. There's going to be the version for your phone, but there's also going to be a version that you can play on PC, whether it be Steam or through its own client. NCSoft is taking that a step further, or kind of just putting that in their own hands, because earlier this week, NCSoft held a media event to introduce its brand new game software called Purple. So it was announced a few months back, although I've never heard of it. It was developed to allow cross-platform play for Lineage 2M between PC and mobile devices, hence removing platform restrictions many other mobile MMORPG titles face. Rather than working with established software like BlueStacks, NCSoft wanted the experience to be optimized for its own games, hence the Purple project was started in-house. So yeah, that's another thing. When playing these mobile games, sometimes they're so good, you're like, but I don't want to play this on my phone, or you want to continue playing it in another window. You're grinding in Black Desert, but you also want to progress in your mobile game. A lot of people use emulators, but sometimes you'll find that certain games don't run well in emulators like BlueStacks or Nox or Mumu. It varies. And also, they're not official by these companies that make the games themselves, so NCSoft decided, you know what, fuck this, we want this to be the smoothest experience ever, and maybe they're trying to monopolize on it as well, but they're making their own, what seems to be like an emulator. So it supports Lineage 2M at a native 4K resolution at 60 frames per second on PC with the required specifications. Graphics and textures will be more detailed on PC as well, and the PC version supports a 200-degree field of view, which is much wider than mobile devices. And as you see in the video, and what they also say, is that you're able to customize the keys, so it looks to me like it's just an emulator, but it looks like a really, really good looking emulator. Something more official. I actually am a fan of this. It has your, general like online, friends list, instant messenger, all that stuff. And there are plans to launch Purple in global markets. And there are even internal ideas on automatic translation for chats. Whoa, that's pretty sick. Let's just hope it doesn't Google Translate everything. A console version of Purple is being considered, but there are many hurdles to cross. Yeah, that might be a bit of a bump. But pretty much Purple is meant to connect the borders between PC and mobile devices, similar to how purple being the color in the middle of red and blue. Wow. Very big brain, very creative brain. But it's available to download in South Korea on the 25th of November, a few days before the launch of Lineage 2M, which I actually tried to play for the last couple of days. I wanted to do a first impressions, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get the game to work. So I've kind of scrapped that idea for now. But if anyone here wants to walk me through the process, and usually find like my Discord link below, send me or Ahmad a message, and maybe we can go from there. Another cool thing is a game called V4. It's one of the few mobile games that has such high graphics that hardly any Android emulators or older mobile phones can run it at max settings. But they're making this for PC, so you can see in this trailer here just how good this game looks. But in the beginning the horse movement was a little scuffed. Still gives you those mobile vibes, but damn, it looks good. I'm totally a fan of this. The one thing I'm not a fan of is that all of this shit is South Korean, but at least they have plans for global release for Purple, and we already have the other Lineage games, so I'm pretty sure Lineage 2M's coming over here, and just mobile games in general seem to get ported over a lot more. And also, Nexon are the guys behind V4, just so you know why this video is about Nexon and NCSoft. And they seem to think that whoever wrote this article says, is this to counter NCSoft's cross-platform initiative? Because Purple was announced for Lineage, and now all of a sudden Nexon is like, you know what, we're making a PC version of V4. But the next thing that I think is really interesting is you guys are aware that Blade & Soul is switching from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4. And if you look at this footage here, damn does that look good. Like, even if you're not a fan of Blade & Soul or you gave up the game, you have to hop back in just to try it with this new engine. It just looks like an entirely different game. So I'm really excited for that, mainly excited because Blade and Soul always got, you know, like the ass sweat really good. How's that going to look on Unreal? How's that going to look on Unreal Engine 4? But anyway, NCSoft is going to remaster or port Lineage 2 to Unreal Engine 4. I don't know why they're focusing on Lineage so much and why they have so many damn spin-offs, but I guess the game was extremely successful. So they are doing a Lineage 2 remaster. The team is looking for a technical artist with experience using Unreal Engine 4, along with other typical skills such as Maya and 3ds Max. Lineage 2 Remastered should be even more challenging than Blade and Soul, given that the classic title was launched in 2003 and made with Unreal Engine 2.5. Yeah, this is probably going to be much harder. And this is another game that I tried recently where I was going to do a, trying Lineage 2 for the first time, or Lineage 2 in 2019, but I don't know, it just didn't feel like the video was good enough, and I wanted to see what the Lineage 2 hype was about, because I know this game was like very successful for its time and it was widely respected. It still is by people. So, I wanted to know what the hype was about, and I couldn't quite find out with the few hours I spent in it. But yeah, interesting news, guys. NCSoft, Nexon at it. I do believe that Nexon was trying to sell itself, the company. There were talks about Disney or something like that, and then Nexon going under, so they also pulled out of G-Star, but here they are still announcing new games, still making more plans. It's a bit confusing, but I'd hate to see a company go under for the employees' sake, the guys who aren't making shitty decisions. It's never cool to lose your job and lose all your income because of the decisions of the overlords, but Nexon and NCSoft have definitely made greedy choices in the past, but welcome to the gaming industry. So yeah, this is it. Let me know what you guys think about this. I want to try Lineage 2M. If they're going to remaster Lineage 2, we'll definitely be trying that. Excited for it, and it will give me even more of a reason to try Lineage and see what it's all about. Only sucks because we know that's like gotta be at least 2 years off. This video is being made during Black Friday, so be safe out there, because that shit gets ridiculous. Just a little side story, I worked retail for a couple years, and I was in charge of the electronics gaming section. It was Black Friday, and the 3DSs were going for really cheap, and I remember all these customers running over to me and had to get down, to the case, take the 3DSs out, and I had this razor blade, and I ended up cutting myself like pretty deep, but I didn't know. And as I was passing these 3DSs out to customers, I was bleeding all over the boxes. And one customer was like, "Hey dude, you're bleeding." And I was like, "Oh really?" Gushing blood all over this 3DS box. And I'm like, "Oh shit, like let me wipe this off, let me go put a bandage on." And this customer was just like, "Give it to me. Give it to," like took the box out of my hand with all this blood on it. All of them, straight fiends. And I remember when we opened, you can like hear the stampede just coming. It's like a fucking Halloween horror night. I will catch you guys in the next video. See you soon, friends.